Hey, welcome back to A Faster Me. Today we have a video where we're just out, it's off season now, racing's over, and we're just out doing some training rides. We pretty much do at least one team training ride every week. This week we had the pleasure of riding with the Incycle Mamis. They kind of joined our team ride, and this is going to be there's some of the mommies there right there. That's Melissa and PC. So this is the Brea Canyon section. You guys have probably seen this a number of times. We have a pretty big group here for, to do any type of dynamic pacelining. This is, I think we have about 12 plus people. Usually we do this with about, 6 to 8. But anyway, we're just gonna rotate straight through, no long pulls. As usual, we're kind of blocking the lane just a little bit just to protect our riders. We're early in the morning, so it's not really a lot of traffic or anything. But we still want to just use up part of the lane instead of staying completely to the right, just because when it's kind of high speed, we don't really want a car to try to think it can, squeeze by us and then clip one of our riders or anything. You may have noticed at the beginning there was no sponsor logos. So, our season's over. So I'm actually currently looking for new sponsorship for next year. So if you have a business or if you know anyone that's looking to, sponsor a team, send some info my way. Contact me on Instagram at A Faster Me, and maybe we can work together. So anyway, we're just starting to get the speed rolling here. Normally we get pretty fast, but I knew it was a little bit slower. But overall for the segment, it was actually pretty smooth with this large of a group of people. So normally our speed would be a little higher, but I think what we did was we actually went more consistent throughout this segment. So we didn't have such high speeds, like we didn't even get close to 40, but we did get about 37 miles per hour, 36, something like that. But I think overall we carried just a little bit higher speed throughout the section or segment. And, a lot of people PR'd and got trophies, and we may have even gotten a QOM on this one. So, but anyway, the idea is it's kind of like a tank wheel. Some people call it donut roll. Is you want to just pull through immediately, no long pulls. Once we get started, you really don't need to flick an elbow anymore, because everybody just kind of knows as soon as they pass the rider in front of them, they're going to just kind of squeeze them out to the right side. We need to be a little bit tighter here just to keep better aerodynamics and not have the surging. But one of the things is, if you see Joe right there to my right, and I think that might be Maria right there. The only thing is, once you pull to the right, which you don't want to stop pedaling until you completely pulled over to the right. But once you pull to the right, your effort level should drop down significantly. What happens sometimes is people pull to the right and they're still pedaling fairly hard, and then it makes it hard for the train on the left side to end up passing them, and you get like a little bogged down. You'll get a stalemate where the rider on the left is having trouble passing you. So there's a little gap there. Jesse's brand new though, so that's still a good job for her. Not, she probably doesn't want to ride too close and make a mistake, which is great. When you're going downhill like this, the road and the surface may not be the greatest, but my philosophy is, do not try to point out every single thing you see. Keep your hands on the bars. It's more important to control your bike, and it's more important for the rest of us to start riding in positions and learn how to take care of yourself. Ride in a position where you can see around the riders in front of you, not just be focused on the rider in front of you and then they move out of the way and you hit a pothole and you want to blame everyone. No, especially when you're gearing up towards racing, you're really responsible for yourself. And anytime you're on a bike, you're responsible for yourself. It's great if someone can point out a hazard for you, but I would not be I wouldn't want my safety to rely on, someone else's notification for me. So, and I know that's a little controversial. A lot of people are going to say, you always should be pointing stuff out, but no, you shouldn't. When you're downhill going 30, 35 miles per hour, you want to control your bike first. You point out things when it's safe to do so, or you got to use verbal commands and it needs to be echoed throughout your group. But the most important thing is control your bike first. So as you can see, we've been going pretty consistent here. Yeah, it's slightly downhill, but we've been going pretty consistently over 30 miles per hour here. So like I said, the speed wasn't really high or as high as we get sometimes, but it was consistently fast or pretty consistent throughout the entire segment. So here's an issue, like what I was saying, like you see Jack and Anastasia, they kind of need to fall back more, let the train come through. That's the time when you're on the right there, same as Josh, you see he's pedaling pretty hard. When you're on the right, that's when you want to recover. You shouldn't hardly be doing any watts over there. Maybe about 100 watts, 150 watts, something like that. But they're obviously doing more than that on that right side. As you'll see me, like I came up to 350 or something. As you see, I move over to the right side. My watch should drop, pretty good. And they actually spiked up a little bit here. But I think it's because we're starting to go uphill a little bit. But as you can see now, I'm dropping down into the hundreds. So our group got smaller. So I try to give you that example at the wrong time because instead of 12 people rotating through, we're actually smaller. There's people that have dropped off the back just a little bit now. And we're gearing up to the end here, so we're gearing up for our lead out. So I told Jack, let's go. And after Maria pulls here, I'm going to do a little lead out for Jack. I started it too early, or more so I really just didn't have it in me to last as long as I needed to. You can see my heart rate's up to 188. So I kind of started it a little too early, and I ended up leaving Jack in no man's land. So this is just a lead out. It's not a sprint. I'm just trying to get the speed up for Jack to launch his sprint. But I'm a little early, so I pull off because I'm dying. And Jack's kind of stuck there in no man's land. Luckily, Priscilla didn't know and Josh didn't know this is their first time doing this with us, so they didn't realize it was a sprint finish anyway. So they really never got a jump on them. So it worked out anyway, and Jack kind of won the sprint. But yeah, it was a pretty good segment for everyone. The group being mixed, a lot of first-time people on this ride with us. And doing this exercise with us here, and then a couple new riders to our team as well that have never done this with us before either. And like I said, there was a bunch of PRs and maybe even a QOM on that segment there. I think we did it under 6 minutes and an average of 30 or 31 miles per hour. So here's just a little fast descent. This ride has a bunch of steep, punchy climbs, and they were really battling up front. I wasn't in it. I'm like completely in off-season mode. Been playing a lot of golf. Haven't been on the bike at all. I only ride 1 day a week, other than the weekend. So really 2 days a week total. One endurance ride and then one fun ride with the team. So yeah, I've been getting my butt kicked on a lot of the inclines. I'm about 15, maybe 10 pounds heavier right now. But yeah, it's okay. I've been having fun, relaxing, and just kind of refreshing, recharging the batteries. But I can descend. So this is just right after the Mount Sac kick. So the steep Mount Sac climb, and then it's a really fast descent. I was hoping to catch a couple of the people in front of me. I can kind of see them, with my eyes. I don't know if the camera catches them, but I can see them up front. But I actually didn't catch anyone, just because high speed, you got to be going so much faster than the person in front of you if you're going to catch them on a fast descent. As you can see, I'm like getting close to 50 miles per hour here. I don't think I actually hit 50. I think the fastest I've gone down this segment is about 55 miles per hour. But I'm not actually trying either. I'm just coasting. And not only that, it was a little bit later in the day, so we're getting closer to like 10, 11 o'clock now. And, cars are coming out now. So people will be coming out of side streets, stuff like that. So you definitely got to back it down a little bit wherever there's side streets. So I'm not really trying to go as fast as I can here. Definitely don't want a car pulling out in front of me. So yeah, this ride, the way we do this training ride here, it's a no drop ride. So we pretty much regroup after all the steep climbs. So I'm just gonna pull to the side on this little where the turn is. There should always be someone waiting at a turn. When you're doing a no drop ride, one of the guys from the front, guys or girls from the front, they should wait at a turn, for all the riders that don't know the exact route. And, later, if you're in a second group or a chase group, you should do the same. Someone should be waiting at the turn so people don't go the wrong way. And unfortunately, the riders up front didn't wait at the turn. So the mid group, there's a group right in front of me. They never turned. They didn't know that was a street they turn on, so they ended up going straight. And of course, we waited for them because we didn't see them. It's kind of cool. There's a couple people on horses. This whole area is filled with like some estates and ranches and stuff like that. So it's kind of a little bit of a wealthy area, and there's some very large properties here. Like just off to my right, there's some very large estates there. It's just a really nice area to kind of ride your bike in, or horse ride. There's some trails in there for horses as well. Not as many as they used to, and they kind of got to get on the street now. But yeah, right here, I'm going to just pull over and wait for the riders behind me. And there's some riders that went straight there. I just didn't know they went straight at the time, but they're going to double back and come back, and then we'll regroup. So this is the last sprint. This is the Reed sprint, last segment of the day. It's a very hard 12% uphill. I've been saying it a lot that I'm out of shape, and I am. So I've been the lead out on most of these rides lately, because I don't have the fitness to contest the sprint. So I've been leading people out for the most part, and there's no different here. I'm going to be the lead out up this hill. You can see we're already at 8%, and then the road's going to ramp up to, I believe it's 12% at its steepest. So, and you can see I don't even have any power. I only hit 800 watts there. Usually I can get into the 12, sometimes 1300 watts. So there goes a group. It's I think it is Jack, Josh, and PC. PC gave Jack a pretty good run throughout the day. She's a really good sprinter. I believe Masters national champion, definitely state national champion, I believe, in the Masters. So she was giving Jack a little run. He more kind of surprised him. He didn't know that she had that kind of speed on her, but she's won a lot of races over the years. She's a really good sprinter. She's kind of taken a year off or so, kind of cut down the racing a little bit, but she's definitely talented. And we had a lot of fun training and riding with the Mamis on this day. So anyway, that's it. We'll be throwing out some more videos. Like I said, we're getting ready for the 2025 season. I'm looking for some new sponsors, and I'll probably pick up a couple more female riders. So if you're interested, hit me up. We have some really good support for the Cat 3 and above riders. And so drop me a line on Instagram if you're interested, and we can have a conversation. Thanks for watching.